Welcome to Go with Kyle Harbaugh. By combining traditional business building methods with AI, Kyle helps law firms, financial advisors, and a variety of businesses thrive in a changing world to build custom growth playbooks to success. Now, here's Kyle.
Welcome back to Go with Kyle Harbaugh. By combining traditional business building methods with AI, Kyle helps law firms and other professional service businesses grow smarter and scale without chaos. I'm Evan Mack, and today we're talking about how data and AI can help you not only hire better people, but also keep the right ones, develop them, and build a team that grows in step with your firm. Kyle, sir, welcome back.
Hey, great to be back.
Good stuff, Kyle. Listen. When you look at most law firms, where do you see the biggest gaps between how they hire and how they develop their people?
You need to really understand who is a mentor. Are you a mentor? You got to work with people, and they want career development, and you want career development, or you need to want career development for your people, because that's how they're going to stay for a long-term job is they're going to stay in your business if they feel like I can grow and have more opportunities and make more money, or I have such good benefits that it just makes sense for me to stay here. And one of those key issues is career growth. And so you really need to understand, if I'm not going to mentor, who I need to hire a mentor. I need to hire somebody so I can train the younger people who I'm bringing into the firm who maybe have less experience or no experience at all, who are fresh out of law school, how to do the job and get better over time. And so you need to create opportunities for those people, and you need to identify somebody on the team who's going to manage them and mentor them.
So what does human capital intelligence really mean in practical terms for a law firm?
Yeah, so we're talking about AI, and you can figure out all this without AI, but it's going to take a lot of study. It's going to take a lot of conversations, a lot of insights, a lot of reading between the lines. Mm-hmm. And the system we built, Right Hire AI, what it does is it not only helps you make a hiring decision, but then in the report, it explains how to manage that person after you make your hiring decision. So it's going to give you insights into their personality, their work style, their communication style, so you can begin to understand what's important to them, how they think, how they operate on a daily basis, so that you can manage them well. And that's a real shortcut, so that you can begin to mentor them and manage them as an employee in a better manner.
So how does Right Hire AI go beyond hiring to help predict who will actually thrive long term in a firm's culture?
Yeah, so we start by asking the right questions. A lot of times, the hiring process, it focuses on skills and experience. Skills and experience is important. However, that's not the whole part of the equation. And so if you're just focused on, where they went to school, what firms they were part of in the past, what type of court experience they got, all those things are important, but they're not the whole story. And so you have to look at their personality, their goals, how they're going to fit within the firm, their work style, how they're going to mesh within the culture you're already building. So you need to consider more, and that's a lot. I'll just be honest. There's a lot of things to consider there, and there's a lot of conversations to be had. And like I said before, you can do that manually, but it takes you a while. Where our system, it collects all the data, so you can get through it all very quickly, like in one conversation, and then you have a detailed report that you can refer back to and understand this person on a deeper level on how to manage them well, and who you should hire.
How can firms use data or personality mapping to understand how team members work best together?
Oh, that's a good question. So first, you need to understand that there's a lot of personality tests out there. Certain ones are better than others. certain ones measure elements better than others. Also, you need to understand that certain personality tests are more repeatable. And what I mean by that is, um, I might take it on Friday, and then I take it 2 weeks from Friday, and it says something different about me.
Yep.
And so some of them are more consistent than others. And so, like for instance, disc profile is pretty consistent, but it's only about, I want to say, 77% repeatable. So there is a variance there, where something like core value index is much higher. It's above 90%. So it's far more repeatable and accurate. Now those things might they do measure some different attributes of that person, but some of them are more repeatable. And so you need to understand um, who people are and which
Mhm.
ones are really going to clash or which ones are going to complement each other. Like this person's really strong over in this area, but this person's really strong in this area, and they'll kind of balance each other out. So
Mhm.
you need to just start by collecting data.
So, what kind of insights can AI reveal about that, retention risk that owners might miss just from, basic observation?
Yeah, so this is almost like I think about it like a negotiation. So the best negotiators, the highest stakes negotiators, they usually have two or three people in the room. And while one person's having the negotiation, other people are just listening. And then they talk, and they you know the people who are not having to interact with the person and come up with the questions and that sort of a thing, they hear different things because they have time to just focus on the listening and not the talking. And so the AI is a similar way. It hears things that you might not hear, that you might not pick up on. And so it's a really good tool for that. It's a way to get a detached perspective. It's completely unbiased. I actually, I'll tell a funny story. So we were doing internal testing on it fairly early on, and I ran a report about my business partner Sam Robinson, who developed Right Hire AI, and we said this is what Sam needs to do. This is all of his job functions,
Mhm.
and this is his personality, and we went through the whole thing, and it said you should fire Sam. So it doesn't pull any punches. It tells the raw truth, the inconvenient truth. And so what it made me realize is, oh man, we have Sam doing some stuff that's really not in his wheelhouse, maybe not his strong suit. And so we restructured some of his job to help him focus on the things he needed to
Mm.
do and take some of the tasks that he really wasn't suited for, and pass that off to somebody else on our team.
So once a firm has the right people in place, how can leaders use that same data to kind of guide growth and promotions?
Yeah, great question. So first off, I would say that you need to look. A lot of firms that I encounter, they think that leadership positions can only be held by attorneys,
Mhm.
and I think that model is um, can be correct in certain instances, but is often broken. It is often the wrong call. That just because somebody is, got a law license, that some reason they need to be in a leadership position, it doesn't make sense. Like you can still give somebody credit, honor them, make them feel important, and not give them a leadership position. You got to communicate with them more, and I think a lot of people, they feel they take the lazy way, and it's like, well, I want to make this person feel special and honor their contribution, so I'm going to just give them a new title
Hmm.
and a pay bump. But a far better thing to do would be maybe you still give them that pay bump, and maybe you, um, you know, have a conversation with them and tell them, "Hey, I think you're highly qualified. I think this is the role for you. I think this other person is better suited for this leadership role, and so we're going to be plugging them in, and it's going to it's going to be a shift around here, but I think we're going to get more done, and things are going to go better, and our employees are going to be better managed with this person involved. But I still love what you're doing, and keep up the good work.
So when a firm is growing quickly, how can leaders tell when an employee's, personal goals or motivation no longer line up with where the business is starting to head?
Yeah, great question. So, I mean, first I would look at who is entrepreneurial, who is, wants bigger, better things, who shows individual initiative, who's finding problems and fixing them without asking permission. They're just getting it done.
Hmm.
That's the type of person I want to promote. That's the person that's going to help you grow your business. That's the person who's going to move things forward, and not only enforce standards, but also raise the bar, um, and make the culture better, and move things forward in terms of culture. So that's finding somebody like that is really important, and then nurturing that type of behavior so they do more of it.
How should law firms balance technology and human judgment when it comes to decisions about, actual people?
Yeah. So uh, AI does a lot of great work, but it's prone to mistakes.
Yep.
You have to have good context. You need to give it all the information, and so you need to put in good quality information on the front end. Let it understand how it's working, and then verify, review all the information, and lastly, the human makes the decision. So I'm not a big fan of AI agents. I one day I think AI will be able to do an amazing job. That day is not anytime soon,
Hmm.
and so I believe that for now, a human in the loop, a human reviewing and making the final decision
Hmm.
is the best practice. But like I said before, um, you only have so much focus to go around, and so you can get fatigued, mental fatigue, very quickly, and that's really where I see AI helping. Is it can make a lot more decisions, and process a lot more data than maybe a human could. So let it do the heavy lifting, and then you make the final decision.
So, Kyle, for anyone who wants to start building data informed talent strategy, what's the first step, they should take this week?
Yeah, great question. So I'd love to have a conversation and see if right hires, right for you, if it would help you in your hiring process. I would also say that if you don't want to use our system, fine. You need to have a documented, consistent hiring process that everybody goes through,
Mhm.
and it's thoughtful. It's quick, and because the best talent only stays around for about 10 days, and so
Mm.
you need to quickly understand if this person is the right person for your firm, and then make a decision on hiring them or giving them an offer. The faster you can do that, the faster you're going to be able to potentially get them as a teammate, and not have other competing offers to worry about.
Awesome. Kyle, thank you for your time, brother.
My pleasure. Is a great talk. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Go with Kyle Harbaugh. If you want to see how Chief Go officers use AI to help firms decide faster and scale smarter, visit chiefgoofficers.com. Don't forget to like, leave a review, and subscribe to the show so you do not miss the next episode. We appreciate your time. See you soon.
All right.
If you heard anything you would like to discuss with Kyle, please schedule a call with him using the link in the show notes. Please also be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review in the comments.